The So Bros Network presents the movie podcast breaking down films and their impact on pop culture as they approach the legal drinking age. This is Drinking With. Now here's your host, Steven McCash.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to Drinking With, the podcast where we raise a glass to the movies that have reached the legal drinking age. I'm your host, McCash of the So Bros Network, and join me as we embark on a cinematic journey through the classics of yesteryear, celebrating their 21st birthdays in style. From iconic blockbusters to hidden gems, each episode will toast a different film that has stood the test of time and shaped our cultural landscape. So grab your favorite beverage or the one we have curated for this episode, and let's dive into the nostalgia as we explore movies that are finally old enough to join us for a drink. Now, joining me at the bar, as always, are the two best people I can think of to stumble out of the bar with after a long discussion of movies. First is the resident film critic of the So Bros Network, Brandon Vick, who is also a member of the Southeastern Film Critics Association, a board member of the Music City Films Critics Association, and most importantly, the birth giver of the Vicks Flicks and Cinema Chronicles podcast, heard right here on the So Bros Network. Woo-hoo! And joining him, as always, is the man behind the scenes, the man who leads us all, the So Bros Network head EIC, the glue of the brand, a gin aficionado, cat lover, husband, son.
Yeah.
Son of a coal miner's daughter.
Of a plumber. And he's also an all-around football wordsmith, Mr. Stoney. Keeley is in the house. Boys and girls, gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Doing well. Did you hear the pyro going
I
off
did.
for this
I
podcast?
did. Holy
Man.
God.
Oh,
Holiday
wow.
Inn Express. There's the expense.
I know. Well, that's what they roll out the red carpet for you here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, behind the scenes, we're recording this at a hotel in the heart of Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think those were fireworks going off, boys.
Oh.
Well,
It just seemed like it was
it's-
right on
I-
cue.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly.
I mean, it's February. Love is in the air. Who
That's
knows?
true.
Could have
That's
been.
true. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Excited to talk about this movie too. This
Me
is something
too.
that
We thought we did last year.
we thought we were going to do last year.
I didn't
and
take part in this. So.
That ended up being collateral damage.
I wish someone would have texted me. I could have told you.
Yeah, but I'm glad we came full circle on this and actually got to do the movie
The
we
real
thought we
deal.
were going to do.
Yeah.
It's one of the, what I would say, they feel like rare occurrences where I really liked this movie when I was younger, and then when I went back and watched it 21 years later, I think I liked it more now than I did back then. I think it's one of Tom Cruise's best, really tense, interesting story that I think I didn't appreciate some of the bigger themes and ideas in this movie that we'll get into, but really excited. I love this film.
Yeah.
I agree.
So same. I think it's one of Tom Cruise's best. Might be my favorite Tom Cruise
I think it
movie.
is. I think it is my favorite.
Michael Mann, I like him. I haven't enjoyed all of his stuff, but I think this is also one of his best.
Well, unless you blindly push play, then you don't know what we're talking about.
That's true. We haven't
Oh
even
my
said it.
God.
Yeah.
But we are talking
doesn't
about.
doesn't it tell people?
It
when they
does.
get-
I said
okay.
unless you blindly push play, you don't know what we're talking about.
Okay. All right.
But we were talking about the 2005 Michael Mann film Collateral.
I don't think it's 2005.
2004.
I always
Yeah.
do that. I get a year
We're
ahead of
in
myself.
2025.
Yes. But
For
it's-
now,
we're talking about.
I've heard in a
2004.
couple years we won't be here at all.
Yes.
Okay.
But-
all right. Good.
But I can't think of a better way to die
Talking
than
about
talking
Collateral.
about Collateral.
And if you don't know or haven't seen Collateral, it's all about Max, a timid Los Angeles taxi driver who picks up the mysterious Vincent one night, not knowing his fare is a ruthless hitman on a mission to eliminate key witnesses that could ruin a major case. As Vincent forces Max to taxi him around the city looking for his target, Max confronts his fears and fight for survival while grappling with moral dilemmas. The night spirals into a dangerous game of cat and mouse as Max tries not to become one of Vincent's targets.
And how about Tom Cruise's hair in this?
Oh,
Stunning.
Silver Fox.
Silver Fox took
He's
the
got
words
that.
right out
He's
of my
got
mouth.
that gray suit,
Yeah, it's
styling and profiling
style-
and killing.
I wonder
Stylistic.
if that was all done purposely.
I bet it was.
I bet it was. Maybe we'll discuss that.
I hope so.
But in case you didn't figure out by the last 3 minutes of us talking about Tom Cruise, Collateral stars Tom Cruise as
God.
Vincent. Also, Jamie Foxx plays Max.
Yeah.
And then the film features an extensive list of amazing actors in smaller roles and cameos featuring Jada Pinkett Smith,
Boo.
Mark Ruffalo, Javier Bardem, and Jason Statham. He's one of those, if you blink it, you miss it.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're one of those people like ones that in the city of Memphis who love to show up for a movie 20 minutes after it starts, then you would have missed
You would have
him.
missed him
Yeah.
completely.
You also would have missed most of Jada Pinkett Smith as well.
Yeah.
Is it? Sorry, go ahead.
You go first.
I was going to say, I think some people have thought that this character is like Statham is playing the transporter.
Oh, that's a fun theory.
Oh, I thought
I don't know if it's true, but
I hadn't heard that.
I think the transporter came out a year before.
Couple, I think.
And so they thought that this might be like that. I don't know.
So they were starting
nice little Easter egg.
They were starting a transporter
the
cinematic
universe
universe.
before the cinematic universe was a thing,
Unlike
yeah.
the Alan Rickman we talked about
Correct.
a couple months ago.
hates
Yeah.
Christmas.
I completely forgot Mark Ruffalo was in this movie, and then when he popped up, it was kind of jarring. Like, oh, that's who he plays, because you see him in the cast, like,
Yeah.
and
I
I'm like, I
remembered
couldn't
that.
place it. And
And
then Javier Bardem, I had no idea. Of course, at the time, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have known who
That's
he was,
who
but
I forget is in there. But
Yeah.
but Mark Ruffalo's partner is Peter Berg,
Yep.
yeah,
who would go on to direct like Friday Night Lights
Yep.
and Lone Warrior. Him and Mark Wahlberg, basically.
yeah,
Yep.
mhm.
And then it was directed by Michael Mann, who we mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
who is also known for Public Enemies,
Yep.
Ali,
Yep.
and Heat, which is one of my favorite, like,
Yep.
shoot 'em up.
Did he do that
fake
Miami
heist
Vice
movies.
one?
Yes, he did.
He did,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
which I liked in 2006.
I
would
remember
be curious
literally
to watch it
half
again.
of us did and
Yeah.
half of us didn't.
In 2027, we may find
Yeah,
out.
I dressed up for that movie.
Yeah, you
I
did.
dressed up
like
for that film
Like with the
to
Miami.
the
You wore no
theater.
socks with your shoes that day?
I wore.
Had your hair?
the-
Did you have your hair?
I
Slicked?
had my hair slicked back.
Yeah.
I wore the aviator sunglasses. I had the button-down shirt that was unbuttoned, like flowing free, and an undershirt tucked into khakis with a belt. I dressed like.
Hell yeah.
Got all the pussy that night, didn't you?
No, I did not. No, I did not. And I was the only person in the theater that dressed up
Yeah, I
for
was
Miami
saying-
Vice.
Yeah.
It was then written by Stuart Beattie, who is known for the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. He's written
Okay.
on that. 30 Days a Night, which I think is an underrated slept-on horror film.
Yeah, I would agree.
Australia, which I never saw.
mhm.
And then he also has written on the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Oh,
How about
I
that?
think a lot of people like that show.
I'll take their word for
I
it.
think it's
yeah,
about.
same here.
I think it's about space fighting.
Yeah.
Space
a
fighting.
lot like Marvel,
In
I
your
am
robes.
burnt out on Star Wars.
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't
think,
watched any of those shows.
I think Star Wars sucks, anyways.
Yeah,
All right.
who needs them?
Okay. So a lot of people will tell you to go fuck yourself for a comment like
They
that.
can. They can. I'll fight them.
And that coincidentally is the name of today's drink.
Whoa.
The Go Fuck
How
Yourself.
about that?
Whoa.
How about that?
The Go Fuck Yourself cocktail is a simple cocktail. You need an ounce and a half of Jack Daniels, 3 ounces of lemonade, and a little splash of Coke. You're going to pour the JD and the lemonade in a rocks glass over ice, and then top with a splash of Coke.
I can't serve this to my Christian friends.
Coke or Coca-Cola?
Oh, that's a good question.
If this was Miami Vice,
That's right.
it would be Coke.
Well, let me get back to that.
But we're in LA, it's going to be Coca-Cola. In LA, it'd be Coke Zero probably.
Yeah, hell yeah. Dude, I got a fridge full of that shit. You want some?
Or some yogurt?
You want some yogurt?
That's a simple little cocktail that I think.
That
think
sounds
is
good.
fitting, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with it.
It's kind of a springtime drink. We're
I was
getting
gonna say,
close to
it's getting-
springtime.
Yeah, that's a little more refreshing.
Yeah.
Not
Can't
like
wait.
that hot and spicy one that we did for Love Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cider.
Yeah.
The Insider, yeah.
It's a diuretic. It'll make you poop.
Oh.
What was the actress's name? Something in my crotch. What was her?
Hickey.
Hickey in my crotch.
Hickey on my crotch.
Yeah. Go back and
I
listen
wonder
to
how
Love
many.
Actually
I
to
wonder
get
how
these
many
references.
huge laughs that got when people listened to it. Especially when I said it for the third time to make sure everyone understood.
We talked as we do on every podcast.
And once again, you'll know which three episodes we did in one sitting.
We're only on number 1. Speaking of numbers, what did it cost to make
Oh,
Collateral?
yeah, that's a big. I think that's some big money. Tom Cruise, what, $20 million at least?
And
Jada
I
Pinkett
can't
Smith.
imagine.
Mark Ruffalo, no one knows.
I'm gonna say.
Oh,
I'm
careful.
gonna say.
I think Jason Statham got at least what Claudia Schiffer got in Love Actually.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's an intimate story.
It's not. It doesn't cost a lot, like as far as what they did. I don't think.
I
There's
think
not a lot of big sets.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 46.
I was thinking 42.
You're way off. $65 million.
Damn.
Wow. That must have had to do with
There's
Michael Mann's.
There's a good bit of cars that are crashed and
Yeah.
blown up. There's
I know Tom Cruise gets a hefty paycheck.
Yeah, he does.
That's probably 20 of it.
Jamie Foxx wasn't Jamie Foxx yet.
No, but I mean,
he's
not
known. Don't get me wrong. He's a
but
household
not
name, but
yeah, he can't
but-
command 10.
he's not
million
Academy
dollars.
Award winner yet.
So
Right.
what I was thinking is like how much. I don't know this, but I know there's a reason that a lot of the filmmaking industry leaves California to film elsewhere.
Oh, with tax breaks and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm just wondering
That's-
how much of that is
Good.
tied into like if they actually filmed this in Los
True.
Angeles.
Yeah,
And
I bet you. I think it was filmed like on these locations.
I
though.
think it kind of had to have been because
that's what I'm thinking. Like
There's
you
also
can,
so much that's really outside. I think, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they go
so
to parts of the clubs.
so I'm
In the
thinking like
club.
if you're starting to get into it's not the special effects, it's not necessarily the star power, maybe it goes into
It's just filming in an expensive ass city.
permits,
it's
taxes.
filmed entirely in L.A.
Yeah, so I mean maybe they just
That's true.
they said, "You know what? It has to be
How
LA."
much does it cost to rent a cab for that long?
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, does this movie feel the same if it's not filmed in LA? Because I feel like this is one of those cases where the city itself is one of the characters.
It would have to be like
in
a
the
New
film.
York, Chicago, LA.
Well, it was originally to get ahead, but it was originally set to be and written in it for New York.
I could kind
And
of
then
see
when,
that.
when Michael Mann came on board, he's like, "Nah, I don't do New York."
Oh, well,
I kind of feel like this
Mr.
is
Man.
an LA kind of story, though.
Well, I think it becomes that, and of course, then there's the whole conversation where Vincent hates LA.
yeah.
And talks about the city itself and
Mhm.
kind of shits on it.
But let's continue talking about numbers. We got to talk box office. Give you a little backstory. It opened August 6, 2004, and it was the only major release outside of Brittany Murphy's rom-com Little Black Book.
Oh yeah,
Damn, I didn't realize that was 04. I thought
Yeah.
that was a little earlier.
wow.
And I will give you a hint. Collateral was the 21st highest grossing film of 2004.
Damn.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah.
And it opened on 3,188 screens.
Whew.
So what did it bring in opening weekend, U.S., Canada?
I feel like it was,
It's rated R though, right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's opening weekend. I'm going to say,
Right at the end of the summer blockbuster season.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 31 million.
31?
I was gonna say like 46.
You were way off. 24.7 mil.
What the hell?
Everybody went to see Little Black Book.
Yeah. It's the end of the blockbuster
I
run.
know, but the
It's-
21st. You made a lot of money
Yeah.
from
So-
August to the end of December.
Yeah. So total North American box office was 101 million. And then worldwide, it more than doubled that at little over 220 million.
You know why?
I mean, I do. I have the notes.
Oh, I was gonna say I feel like Tom Cruise, the international star.
Yeah.
What do you think was the highest grossing country outside of America?
Bulgaria,
It was
because
not.
they thought Alan Rickman was in it.
No, but I have Bulgaria. They
Throwback.
did love it.
China.
You're close. Well, China.
Russia.
Yeah, you're close.
Russia, Japan.
You're Japan. Japan brought in just under $20
Feels
million.
kinda racist, guys.
He said close.
Yeah.
I mean, China is close to Japan.
Geographically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's talking about on the map.
God, I'm the racist.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah, you. Yeah, you're gonna
shit.
get canceled.
Damn.
I mean, I'm
You thought I was talking about the people?
Yeah.
Oh, shame
Yeah.
on you.
yeah, for real. That's on you. I'll tell you who. I told you Bulgaria. Shit. Bulgaria did love Collateral because it brought in over $82,000.
There they are. There they are.
And I talked about how Egypt hated
Oh,
fucking Love Actually,
yeah,
but
yeah.
who really hated Collateral?
Oh, God.
The fucking New Zealand.
What?
New Zealanders brought in $604.
Was Lord of the Rings still playing?
Probably.
That's why.
Well,
That's why.
or they were still filming one, and everybody was used as an extra.
Yeah, it's Peter Jackson's fault.
Yeah. So we know New Zealand hated it. The
Right.
Japanese loved it. But what did critics think about Rotten Tomatoes?
What did they think about Rotten Tomatoes? I'm gonna say
so hungry.
I'm gonna say 86%. I feel like
I'll say 89. I feel like it's in the 80s.
Stoney's right on the dot.
Is
86%.
it? I thought not 90, but 80 sounded right.
But did the audience members think?
Probably not, 'cause they don't appreciate art.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go relatively high from the audiences because I can't. This is one of the rare films that I have a hard time seeing too many real critiques of it. Like if you just don't like the style of film, I get it. If you just don't like Tom Cruise, I get it. But I don't know. I'm gonna say 82. 82% from the audience.
I feel like it might be higher, but I'm just gonna say, well, you know what? I'm gonna say 86.
84. You're right.
Oh, we split it.
All right.
Split
all right.
it.
Yep. And then I have some people from Letterboxd who really like this film as well.
Yeah.
And we have Christina DeLeo, 4.5 stars.
There you go.
That's better than mine. I gave it 4.
How we probably give it 4.5.
It's 4.5, maybe 5
Yeah.
for me.
She said, every time I get to the yo homie, is that my briefcase scene?
I love it.
I fucking giggle with glee. He. These guys are so screwed.
Yeah,
for
I
real.
love it.
Like it's that scene gives me chills because you just know.
I remembered even before I rewatched it. I know there's something about when he says that. We know as the audience he ain't fucking around, but they're about to find out.
I would like somebody to put like a little like montage or clip set together of scenes like that because of Tom Cruise, because every time I see that scene, I go straightly to the diner scene in Jack Reacher. Where Tom Cruise just beats the shit out of those guys outside the diner.
Yeah.
Am I losing you?
No.
No, I thought I heard a knock on the door.
Yeah, I was going to say, there seemed like there was a knock on my headset.
Oh, I didn't hear anything.
No.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Yes, Jack Reacher. Yes, I know that one.
Y'all really threw me off
No,
there.
well,
Looking at me, I was like, did I say something wrong?
Right when you said it, we both heard it, and it sounded like somebody was...
Should we pause and take a peek? Maybe we should.
Speak of what?
I thought I heard somebody knock on the door.
I didn't hear anything.
Again.
Okay. All right.
But I'm also old and can't hear for shit.
That's okay.
All right. Sorry, McCash. Your question?
Yeah, go ahead. Yes, Jack Reacher, where he goes to the diner.
I think it'd be fun to have like just a series of scenes put together of him just whooping people's ass.
I would say, I thought you were going to say, because I think people have put together scenes of him running.
Oh, yeah.
Of different movies of him running. And he runs a Collateral. That's the first thing I think of. And I know there's a way, because I want to think, I know he trains and stuff, but there's a way that he does his, the way he points a gun.
Yeah. He went for specific training for that.
Yeah. And I don't know, some of that stuff just sticks in my head when I rewatched it. But yes, him and When You Know You're Screwed.
Yeah.
Even though he's 5'2", I think.
On a good day.
He could still kill you.
Yep. And then Jerry McLaughlin gave it 4 stars.
Okay.
He says, Cruise can't be bargained with. Cruise can't be reasoned with.
Mm-hmm.
Cruise doesn't feel pity. Cruise doesn't feel remorse or fear. And Cruise will absolutely not stop ever until you're dead.
There you go. Hell yeah. But what about his character?
Yeah. I think that's what he was referring to.
I thought he was talking about the man.
Yeah. I mean, who knows?
We don't know.
Well, you don't.
We don't.
Yeah.
Scientology can do a lot of things.
Yeah. We've so seen.
But I love it.
And then
I love Scientology. I love Tom Cruise.
you were almost like dipping into a Trump impersonation there.
Oh, was I?
Yeah.
Oh,
You did. I heard it too.
My wife hates Tom Cruise.
Oh.
Hates him.
So does my mother-in-law.
Have you not served papers yet?
I'm like, why? But I'm like, but here's the thing. I'm sure he's nuts,
Oh yeah.
but
on screen, he's magic.
But he makes good movies.
Yeah. Has
He
she
makes
not
actually
seen
he makes great
Outsiders?
movies. No, and I don't see. That's the thing. I don't even think she's seen some of his stuff, just because I don't even know the last Tom Cruise movie she saw.
This world does not need that kind of hate in it.
I know. It's one of those, I don't really want to know the real Tom Cruise. I just want to know the on-screen Tom Cruise.
I never want to meet him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. He seems nice when he does red carpets, but there's something.
I want to hang out with like Tropic Thunder Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I want to hang out with, which Tom Cruise would I like to hang out with?
All the right moves where his cock's hanging out.
Maybe. Maybe.
I want to hang out with
Kind of maybe a Top Gun Maverick Tom.
Risky business Tom Cruise
Yeah,
in your underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just me and Tom Cruise in our underwear.
Maybe a younger Tom Cruise. I haven't seen this
Rebecca
all the way
de
through.
Mornay knocks on the door.
But The Color of Money, I feel like that cocktail. I feel
Shoots
like
a
that's
pool.
That's a cool Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Lastly, Ely gave it 3.5 stars, and she's come up with
3.5.
3.5. She says, date night idea.
Oh, okay.
We go on a romantic nighttime drive. We go to a jazz club.
Mm-hmm.
I meet your mom.
Mm-hmm.
We almost kiss on a bridge.
Yeah.
We see a coyote in the street that nearly brings us to tears. We go to the club, and Mark Ruffalo will not leave us alone.
That's good.
Why does that only have 3.5 stars?
I know.
Is what I want to know.
I mean, I give that review 5 stars.
Yeah, that's 5 stars
5
right
out of
there.
5.
Mark Ruffalo won't leave us alone.
So some fun facts as we're getting into the meat of the podcast. 2 Oscar noms for this film. Jamie Foxx for Best Supporting Actor. He lost to Morgan Freeman for $1 Million Baby that year.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jim Miller and Paul Rubel for Best Film Editing.
Paul Rubin edited this film?
That's right.
Damn.
Pee Wee Herman himself.
That's right.
Best Film Editing, they lost to Thelma Schoonmaker for The Aviator.
Okay.
Wow. There's some heavy hitters there.
Yeah, this is a good year for film that we're talking about.
I think some people would be surprised to. I think he deserves it, but that Jamie Foxx was actually nominated for supporting actor.
Yeah.
Also knowing he's nominated for Best Actor too.
Yeah. Well, at the time of its release, we did not know that.
I just mean like the fact that he got nominated twice and he got enough votes to get into supporting actor when obviously a lot of the weight was shifted onto Best Actor.
But I do think this is a side of Jamie Foxx we've never seen before.
Agreed. This was not since Willie Beeman in Any Given Sunday have I seen Jamie Foxx let loose.
Because he's always been, any character he's played, whether on In Living Color or Any Given Sunday, they've always been confident characters.
Yeah, Booty Call.
Yeah.
Don't forget Booty Call.
I could never.
I thought it was a really interesting range of emotion for his character as well that he had to portray. Like, he is this timid taxi driver, but then he has to go into this club and pretend to be Vincent.
And talk. Yeah,
that's a pretty fun scene.
Yeah,
I think
you tried talking to Javier Bardem.
Yeah, and like the idea of this story, like where they're putting, it's basically 2 characters, fates intertwined on this evening, and it's a timid guy that has to kind of, rise to the occasion, kind of like his life's on the line.
Yeah.
And I think,
and also in it, like,
and his mama's.
Well, sorry to cut, but it's like, to McCash's point, in this movie, Jamie Foxx looks like he has no chance against Vincent. Like, that ain't it ain't gonna work.
So it brings this really interesting layered performance where Jamie Foxx has to get the timid guy down, but it's also the timid guy that has to kind of come out of his shell to be a little more hardened, to be a little more brave and adventurous in order to survive in the current situation. So I think it's
true.
It's the layers to the performance that for me was just like, wow, this is brilliant.
I saw correlations between their 2 dynamics compared to Denzel and Ethan in Training Day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think Jamie Foxx would have won supporting actor as well if he was blind in Collateral?
driving the taxi?
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I forgot, and it's a nice little touch, but you're talking about where fates are intertwined. I forgot that he almost went to a different cab. I forgot that little moment
Yeah.
where he's about to get in, he's not paying attention, and he's starting to walk off, and then he calls back out to him.
Well, one of the reasons, and I'll kind of get to some of this later, one of the reasons why Cruise took on the role was because Michael Mann had fleshed out the backstories of the two main characters so thoroughly that when Tom Cruise was reading all those notes and everything, it made him take on the role, because in that scene, Vincent is testing cab drivers for showing who's weak and such. And so based off his first question or whatever to Jamie Foxx's character, made him decide whether or not he was going to get in that cab, because he needed somebody he could control.
Yeah.
And he saw that in the Max character.
Oh. It's very
really
calculated.
Yeah,
very. As it kind of goes through.
Comes across as a very calculated film, though, and it's like the
but
way
Vincent is also.
I think that's the way Michael Mann just operates.
Yeah,
well, that's true.
The way that we're introduced to these two characters, with Max in the cab driving the lady around, and you feel like sympathetic towards him, like he just kind of comes across as this everyman trying to chase his dream, trying to make it.
Yeah,
nice guy. He's got some riz, as the kids say. Knows his city, very jovial, like
can tell you how much time, and then doesn't really give himself the credit. He's just kind of like,
he's very humble. Like there's just rattling off item after item off the list that makes him a sympathetic character. Compared to like when we first meet Vincent, it's very like cold.
Yes.
He comes across as a hardened guy, and it's like we know right away it's really effective at establishing the characters, but the actors really breathe life into those concepts.
And that's
what makes this, to me, such a one of the reasons it's such a special film.
And I know there's obviously the cat and mouse game and everything, but there are conversations I thought were really fascinating, especially when they start kind of breaking it down a little bit more into, like you said, the bigger themes of not just you have a killer in your back seat.
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting on that front too.
To continue with the awards talk, this was the only non-Best Picture Oscar nominee that was nominated for Best Editing.
How about that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty good.
I think I would have liked to have seen Collateral in Best Picture. I can't.
Yeah,
I don't
remember the field, but
I know Aviator, $1 Million Baby. I know they were in there. Ray.
And then there was another awards that happened that year that I've never heard of, and that's the Mumblies.
Mumblies?
The Mumblies.
Okay.
Collateral won the 2004 Mumbly for the most mumbled film of the year. Then in the 2010 World Mumbly list, it won the mumbliest mumble for most mumbly film of the decade.
Damn, look at Collateral. Racking up.
The for what it's worth, the Best Picture field that year: $1 Million Baby, The Aviator, Ray, Finding Neverland, and Sideways.
Okay.
I would have taken Finding Neverland out.
Boom. Put Collateral in.
Yeah, I can support that.
What was Golden? Oh, Golden Globes does comedy and
separates,
so that's hard to say.
Yeah.
There are no opening credits to the film. It goes straight in.
Oh yeah, it doesn't, does it?
There's no credits to the film nor title. The only credits seen at the end start with directed by Michael Mann, and the title is the end. At the end, very end.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I did not notice that.
I can't say either because
I think I was just like ready to go.
Yeah, I just remember like old black and white films doing the same thing, going straight in to the movie, and then at the very end there's just basically a sheet,
it just
card
says,
that has all the stuff.
Oh yeah.
Tom Cruise trained for roughly 3 months with the LA County Sheriff's Office at combat shooting ranges, and it was apparently his first time with live rounds. Surprising exactly no one, Michael Mann adds that Tom is extraordinarily skilled at everything athletic that he tries.
Yeah, that's the book on Tom Cruise.
Yep. No surprise there.
Imagine what he could have done if he was like, 6 feet tall or 6'5" or something.
Yeah.
And playing like actual sports.
No telling. Sky's the limit.
He could have been the real Tom Brady.
He could.
Yeah. But his tactical draw is so good in scenes from Collateral that it is used by experts in lessons for handgun training.
Oh my God, they're studying an actor on how to hold it. God, he is good.
Yeah. He's a GOAT without a doubt.
He is.
Yeah.
There, you can't deny
Very few.
his star power. You can't deny his dedication. And now he's kind of more known for stunts, really, than anything else. But I will say he's starting to make a turnaround again because Alejandro Inarritu, he did Birdman, he did The Revenant.
Yeah.
He's in his new movie.
Okay.
And I'm like, I think Tom's trying to get an Oscar.
Maybe. Tom doesn't have an Oscar, does he?
His nominations.
No
Nomination?
Oscar.
Yeah,
What,
that's crazy.
Magnolia, Jerry Maguire.
Magnolia, Jerry Maguire, Born on the 4th of
I
July.
forgot about that one.
I think that's only 3 he's ever done.
Didn't get A Few Good Men?
I don't think he got nominated.
Yeah.
I think it was just supporting.
For Jack.
And Kevin Pollak.
Oh, we got
I know.
two.
It's kind of
Oh.
crazy. I know.
Forgot Kevin Pollak was even in that.
Yep.
But to prepare for the film, Cruise made FedEx deliveries in a crowded LA market without anyone recognizing him.
That's insane.
That is insane. But I
That's
feel like if
insane.
anywhere in LA, that's kind of like no one. Like I don't think anybody's paying attention.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
I should say.
And I guess maybe, I don't know if he's
If you're
in
wearing
his-
a hat and stuff, you'd have to like be face to face talking to him.
Yeah. There's a legendary technical advisor named Mark Gould. He was brought on to train Cruise for the action sequences, including showing him how to fire the live rounds. And Gould was also a technical advisor on action films like Taken, Public Enemies, Replacement Killers, Heat, and Ronin. I fucking love Ronin.
I never saw Ronin.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
Yep.
De Niro.
Yep. And though Vincent, the Cruise character, presents himself as a gentleman despite being a ruthless, cold-blooded killer, his physical appearance is based on that of being a wolf, which we mentioned earlier jokingly, with the gray hair, gray suit, grayish eyes,
Yes.
and predator smile. That
How
was all
about
done
that?
purposely by Michael Mann.
Careful filmmaking.
Yep.
Calculated filmmaking.
It works though. Like
Yeah.
it really, it caught my eye. Like the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you'd never seen Cruise outside of his technically natural hair color.
No. Actually, I don't think
Except
he's
when
ever.
except when he tries to play a samurai.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Somebody had to.
Him and Ken Watanabe.
Yep. Here's some fun little
Okay.
Okay.
TMZ, a little TMZ type stuff. So Tom Cruise, he used to date Penelope Cruz.
That's right.
Who is now married to
Javier
Bardem.
Oh, and they got babies.
And then Cruz was also married to Katie Holmes.
That's right.
Who later dated
Jamie
Foxx.
Foxx.
Damn.
Oh
What-
my God. And Michael Mann fucked Nicole Kidman.
I don't have that in my notes. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I can't.
Michael
I can't
Mann, I
verify
think, is
that.
80 years old.
But also, man, do y'all think they ever had some like big sex parties just to get everybody's
And-
familiar
Who?
with?
Are
Which
you
ones?
do you not know who Puff Daddy is?
Everybody is familiar with each other's bodies. There's nothing
Having some
wrong.
Sword fights.
Nothing wrong with just getting together, having a few drinks, and
Are you
just
talking about Tom Cruise and Javier Bardem?
putting the tarps down on the mattresses and
Let me
just
tell you.
Playing
Let me
some
tell
special
you.
Twister.
waylaying
Let
on
me
each
tell
other?
you. Javier Bardem doesn't need anything else but himself.
I didn't say. Well, nobody needs anything more than themselves, but
I
it's
bet.
fun.
I bet. Godly.
Unless you have no arms
I
and
just
legs.
realized. Can you imagine Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx, Javier Bardem, Katie Holmes, Penelope Cruz, and Nicole? Am I going to put Nicole Kidman? If I put Nicole Kidman in there, I have to put Keith Urban in there
And Michael Mann.
and Michael Mann. I made
Yeah.
that part up about Michael Mann. I don't want him emailing me
Yeah, good call.
saying,
I mean,
"Hey,
that just
don't talk about me having sex."
it just seems like everybody's swapping each other's body
But this
parts.
is so many years.
and, yeah, I don't know. I'm just proposing an
Tom
idea.
Cruise
I'm
and
just
Katie Holmes
speculating.
had kids.
Just part of the fun of this show is that we talk about some hypotheticals.
Can I be honest? Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz, I feel like God put them on earth to be together.
Mm.
You can't put two prettier people together. I don't care who you are.
That can be
It's-
argued,
unless-
but
Unless, are you thinking the same thing I am? Martin Short and Meryl Streep? Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
who you're thinking?
Yeah,
that's exactly
Okay.
where I
Well.
went to.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
Just checking.
I mentioned Stuart Beattie wrote this film. He's from Australia. He's an Australian screenwriter.
And Road Australia.
Yes. He was 17 when he took a cab home from the Sydney airport by himself And it was on that ride that he had the idea of a homicidal maniac sitting in the back of a cab with the driver nonchalantly entering into conversations with him, trusting his passenger implicity. Beatty drafted his idea into a 2-page treatment, and then later when he was a student at Oregon State, he fleshed it out into his first screenplay, which was actually titled The Last Domino. He put the script away, taking it out occasionally for revisions and rewrites over the years.
Wow.
Before it finally became Collateral. And one of the big reasons why Michael Mann chose to make the film was the way Stewart's script captured an entire story in a very short period of time, because it's all done over one night. The whole movie is like the third act of a traditional drama, he said, and he likes how it doesn't go backward to offer more detail into these characters' lives, and instead we're just catching them in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think that's what makes that flow so well.
Yeah.
And there's enough in there to kind of understand where they're coming from. And that's where, obviously the dialogue, the conversations give you a peek into what they were hoping. And I don't want to know everything about Vincent. That ruins it.
And I think it's really interesting. Earlier when I said like the bigger themes in the movie, I think there is like a bigger feeling about this story because it's so small, and we're essentially following these two characters whose fates have intertwined, as Vincent calls it in the back of the cab, cosmic coincidence. And you think about like the odds of all of these things happening in a way to set this story up. It's not necessarily that it's a big sprawling story with a bunch of characters, a lot of explosions and special effects and all these grandiose things. It's a big story because of all of the ways the universe conspired to put these two people together. And that's the thing I was talking about earlier when I said I didn't appreciate that at the time. But when you go back and watch this movie, like every little decision that kind of puts them in this position, and even Vincent acknowledging it in that regard, like the odds of this happening have to be astronomical. You feel like you're watching something that is 1 in a million, despite the fact that
and
it's
all
just
the stars align.
Yeah, two characters, two actors breathing life into them, and just a hell of a story. It's like, wow, this is there's almost a magical quality to the film because of that, for me anyway.
I also give this film a ton of credit on its ending.
Yeah.
I love the ending. And you get told a little story maybe about halfway through, just about people living their lives and not paying attention around, about the guy being on the train and they didn't know he's dead. And then
did that closing scene with the train remind you of a film's opening?
Polar Express?
No, not quite. I don't know if this was done purposely or not, but the ending scene with the train goes hand in hand with the opening scene from Heat.
Oh. Okay.
Another Michael Mann film.
I don't know if I've seen all of Heat.
I've seen it all the way through once, and that was in the theaters. And not knowing it was like 3 hours long when I went to see it.
And I think, is it next year? I think it's like 30-year anniversary. Was it 95?
That sounds about right.
Anyway, I'm hoping that like somewhere like Nashville Belcourt, they show it. I would love to see it in a theater.
Yep. One of the things that Michael Mann loved really the most about the script was the cab, because he used to drive a cab.
Michael Mann did?
Yep, as did his father, and then his grandfather actually owned a cab company.
Damn.
Yep.
It's family business.
Wow.
Little personal touch to this film.
And although Max refers to himself as Collateral in the scene where he briefly stands up to Vincent in the jazz club, that's not where the movie got its title. The original script had Vincent's professional name as Vincent Collateral.
That sounds so lame.
Yeah, I'm glad that,
And there's actually a deleted scene that confirms it. The title was considered for a change after the unsuccessful release of the Arnold Schwarzenegger action film, Collateral Damage.
And here we are.
Yep.
Yes.
Here we are.
I'm glad they left that last name out.
Everyone agreed that they shouldn't avoid a title everyone liked just because it echoed a movie that no one cared about.
Yeah, no one saw Collateral Damage anyway.
Except for two people in this room.
Except for us, yeah.
Suckers.
And then after the first killing, Vincent refers to Max as Lady Macbeth because he's cleaning up the mess in the front seat instead of driving the cab. The character Lady Macbeth would continuously wash her hands due to her guilt over the murder of Duncan and other crimes, leading to her committing suicide. So Max later attempts to kill Vincent and himself by crashing the cab, but both survived that crash. And in that scene, in real life, Tom Cruise got a concussion.
Really?
Jamie Foxx gave Tom Cruise a concussion.
Damn.
Hell yeah.
CTE.
Yep.
You want to do some coulda, woulda, shouldas?
Let's do it.
Let's
do
do
it.
directing.
Okay.
Michael Mann wasn't first in the list.
Okay.
Before he got the job, there were 3 men. I think Steven Spielberg comes up every time,
Yep.
but he was one of them.
Yeah.
Martin Scorsese.
I could see it. It wouldn't be the same. It would definitely look different.
Yeah.
Feel different.
It just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a Scorsese kind of story.
It couldn't be L.A. if Scorsese's doing it.
That's true. It'd have to be the mean streets of New York.
Like it was like the original script is, and the other director would be the same way, and that's Spike Lee.
I would have liked to have seen that, but again, I do think, and like in so many cases, which is what makes these filmmakers iconic in their own way, is that it's never going to be the film we watch.
Yeah.
That's not how Spike Lee would. It wouldn't even look like. I mean,
I'm happy with it just the way it turned out.
Michael Mann is
I'm not
the
gonna
best. Yeah, he's the best choice, I think.
But I don't think Michael Mann could have done it as well if it was in New York.
No,
Okay.
that may be true.
Fair. Yeah.
And that's where I think Scorsese and Lee probably do run wild with it.
Or
Yeah.
Woody Allen. Woody Allen doing Collateral.
My God, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh
I don't
my
think we can
God.
say that name anymore.
No,
but,
we can't.
No, I don't think so. But Roman Polanski is still pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Let's talk about acting. There was an actor who was at one point offered both lead roles, not at the same time, but he could have played either one.
Oh.
Mr. Edward Norton.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it.
I can see him being offered it. I don't see him
Yeah.
making this better.
The screenwriter Stuart Beattie wanted Robert De Niro to play Max, but the studio wanted younger.
Yeah, I don't know.
Then if De Niro is Max, then who is Vincent? Yeah, I mean,
I have one for that.
that would work. That would.
I don't know if it would work, but that was linked
Okay.
with another actor.
Oh, okay.
Then the Detective Fanning character, which was what Mark Ruffalo played. Val Kilmer was cast as Detective Fanning.
Which he worked in Heat.
Yep, but he had to pull out due to scheduling conflicts with the film Alexander.
Oh,
That's fine.
yeah, that's fine. But sorry, Val.
Then we have some interesting ones that were up for the role of Max.
Okay,
Cuba Gooding Jr.
that's weird.
Yeah, him and
De
Tom
Niro?
Cruise. Him and Tom Cruise back together from Jerry
That's
Oh,
Maguire.
right. Yeah.
Johnny Depp was briefly considered for the role of Max.
No.
He would have been Vincent before he was Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ice Cube was considered for Max.
Huh.
And then the
Hmm.
one that gets me, at the time, I could not have seen it at all. But now, since he's done other more dramatic roles, I could see it. Adam Sandler.
That's not crazy now.
No, not now. 2003?
It would have been crazy.
It would have
back
been
then.
because Punch Drunk Love in 2004 was Punch Drunk Love out.
I can't remember.
That's
remember
the
if that's out
only.
yet.
That's the only movie that
At
would
that
have
time, yeah.
would have.
Yeah.
Maybe-
It's just the stars aligned, much like they aligned in this story
Yeah.
for Vincent and Max to come together, for these
Yeah,
actors and filmmakers to come together.
So then you have an actor that was considered for Vincent, but decided to make another movie instead that was also nominated for Best Picture that year. And that's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Paul Giamatti.
Leo was going to play Vincent, but chose to make The Aviator instead.
He could have played Vincent, but
He would have been a good Vincent.
yeah.
But those actually kind of worked out though.
I don't buy Leo in the action sense like I do Tom Cruise.
Yeah. I can the athletic profile.
I was gonna say, that would be a different.
Tom Cruise definitely has a higher RAS than
Yeah. Outside of Basketball Diaries, I can't think of a real actiony I shouldn't say actiony, but athletic Leo role.
Yeah.
He's kind of in action in the Russell Crowe movie Body of Lies
Okay.
that Robert Redford directed. But yeah, I mean, not really. I mean, The Revenant. I mean, it's a different kind of physical role, but
Yeah.
yeah, not really.
You ever heard of a film called Eucalyptus?
No.
That's because it was never filmed. And
About
I'm gonna tell you why. Russell Crowe came really close to playing Vincent. Offered it and everything, but he could not commit due to filming Eucalyptus, which was a Dune project starring Nicole Kidman based on the 1998 Murray Ball novel of the same name. Muriel's Wedding director Jocelyn Morehouse was set to direct Eucalyptus, but disputes between her and Crowe led to the film never getting made.
So Crowe missed out on Collateral and Eucalyptus.
Because he's a D-bag, supposedly.
Damn. Well, shit happens.
Well, joke's on everybody. He did Unhinged.
There's a excellent film, by the way.
He's perfect in that movie.
If that had come out in a non-lockdown pandemic era, that might have gotten some nomination talk.
Oscar stuff?
Possibly.
No.
I thought he was tremendous in
No,
it.
he's great, but they would have never given a B movie type thing.
I don't think it would have been considered a B movie in a different era.
Well, wait a minute. What, like in the 80s?
No, I'm just talking about that film didn't get the light of day because of what was going on in the world.
Yeah.
Just like Love and Monsters, I thought would have been a much bigger hit had it not come out in 2020.
I know. I love it. But no.
So there is a role in Pulp Fiction that John Travolta played named Vincent.
Yeah.
He also was up for the role of Vincent in Collateral.
I just can't. I can't.
Yeah, I can't either.
And then another actor who was offered the role of Vincent but decided not to take it was one Colin Farrell.
I could see it, but
He's the closest thing I think that you might have get some kind of the same. I also find it fascinating that basically, like, Michael Mann would go on to work with these people anyway.
Yeah. Because he would later get Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx together from Miami Vice.
Yeah.
It's also interesting to me that
Johnny
this was,
Depp, Public Enemies.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That there's so many. This feels like one of the deeper wells of coulda, woulda, shouldas that we had. Like that they didn't really have this thing pinned down.
Yeah, but there's
a lot
of
different ways.
Top tier cast. Christian Bale could have been Vincent.
Like
that would have been a good Vincent.
Yeah, like De Niro as Max and Leo as Vincent.
Yeah,
it's just weird. A weird movie to
What
picture.
if De Niro was Max and Vincent was played by Joe Pesci?
I've got one for you.
Oh, here we go.
At one point, De Niro in the Max role, like we discussed, and the role of Vincent, Al Pacino.
Of course.
Yeah, I should have known.
Yeah.
No.
I'm sticking with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx.
I completely agree.
I think the dynamic. You might have had me with Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell seems the most like, and I guess because they did star with each other later, like him and Jamie Foxx seemed like it could be good.
Yeah.
But what if Colin Farrell was Max and Brendan Gleeson was Vincent?
Jesus.
Now we're talking.
Right?
Now we're talking.
Talk a little about the cinematic techniques of the film. I love Michael Mann's looks in his films.
Yes, me too.
His directorial styles, his trademarks. You know, I keep going back to and there's a lot of symbolism with that scene where the coyote is just walking across the street. You know, the way he uses the nighttime of Los Angeles as a setting. I mean, we talked about this film costing $40 million, but that was free. I mean, I just love the look of this film.
Yeah. No, and he's kind of always had this kind of like slick, stylish structure. Mm-hmm. And it's Miami Vice for sure. He did Black Hat with Chris Hemsworth. I think his most recent was Ferrari.
Yeah.
They all but I think it's also like you just kind of know the filmmakers have that touch and that's how you identify with, That's why I feel like there are some movies where like it'll come up and say directed by and you're like, really? Like
really? Yeah.
anybody could, like, I can't believe
Where it looks like a great director just took a paycheck.
Yeah. Here's the first example pops in my head. I would have no idea Disney's Aladdin would be directed by Guy Ritchie, because Guy Ritchie has a very type of flair. Now I know he's working for Mickey Mouse Corp, but like that looks nothing.
Yeah.
Like nothing of his stamp. Like you have even with Spielberg, but especially, I mean, Spike Lee and Tarantino. Michael Mann's one of those dudes. You know his films. Like, you know if that's a Michael Mann production.
When I hear Michael Mann, I immediately go to Heat and just
I think a lot of people. I was gonna say I think a lot of people.
And then I follow up with Collateral.
I was gonna say Collateral is way up there.
Yeah, and then I like the. There's the moral ambiguity between the two main characters, where their duality, where they blur the lines between good and evil. I think that was just hats off to the writer for the screenplay for putting that in there.
I'm saying, man, like there's some really deep stuff in this film that is just kind of a small, intimate story. It
is kind of funny how like it's intense and it's got its action, but it's also emotional and it is thought provoking because
philosophical.
Because these guys aren't talking surface level shit, you know. And I think what makes it most impressive is what attracted Mann to begin with is that we only got a night with these people. You know, but you sure do get a lot out of that one night.
For sure.
You do.
For sure.
And so speaking, from time to time we'll talk about the cultural effect it has on pop culture and whatnot. Where do you think this legacy of Collateral has affected like crime thrillers over the past 21 years?
How or if it?
Or either way.
I think there's a lot of people that try to do what Collateral does really well and fail.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it changed the game, but I think it's, to me, it's all chalked up. Performances obviously play a huge part in this, but it's like if another filmmaker got it. I mean, Michael Mann, that was just meant to be, and changing it to LA made it, that's his thing. Like, okay, I can do it.
I could see like editing the way some crime films are now edited or have been edited over the last 2 decades. I think of like a movie like Baby Driver, using like helicopters for scenes and such, like a lot that Mann did in this film as well.
Maybe trying to add that like philosophical layer. Yeah, like it's more than just a shoot 'em up kind of deal.
Yeah,
I could see maybe some of that influence later on, because it does kind of feel like these types of movies these days, like it's not like everybody has a message, but it's like we got to sprinkle in some like really deep thoughts in here to make people think about like why all of this is happening and all this stuff. I don't know, just spitballing.
But we've also seen films like that where it just feels forced.
Yeah.
Or they think they think they're more clever than they really are. And this one just seems, but it's subtle. Collateral is subtle in some of its ways of how it's going to touch on these themes, but still where he's got stops to make and people are going to drop dead, and this is the ride you're on.
Yeah. I think the two that come closest to it in the last 20 years that I can think off the top of my head are Baby Driver and Ambulance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. I think Baby Driver has more. I mean, it's very stylish because Edgar Wright.
Right.
I kind of see your point with Ambulance. I still don't think they find that right nerve that Collateral.
Yeah.
Collateral has.
They're both a little more flashy than Collateral is.
Yeah, but a lot of it is because the way Michael Mann, he does film, so all that's on film, which makes a huge difference. And I know, we are talking about 21 years, so obviously I'm sure stuff is. If he made Collateral today, it probably wouldn't look exactly like that. We've seen that kind of with Black Hat and Ferrari, but man, the meat and potatoes of Collateral is not really about the killing. And there's a lot of movies where it sort of is about the killing.
All about the killing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way of framing it.
They're
Yeah.
horror films without being horror films.
Thanks. I'm a film critic.
Yeah. I will say there are a couple of fun quotes that I enjoy from this film. Obviously, yo homie,
Yep.
is that my briefcase?
Yep.
I love that one. And then really Vincent just like getting into somebody's soul by saying, just take comfort in knowing that you never had a chance.
God, so badass. That's hard as fuck.
I love.
That is hard as fuck.
It is. I also love the one where he's like, Max, it's the first one. Like, did you kill him? He's like, well, I didn't kill him.
I shot him.
Yeah, I shot him. The bullet and the fall
killed him.
Yeah.
Like, but he says it just so like
Not
next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did like just know you never had. I mean, and here's the thing: you fucking believe it.
Yeah.
You're not questioning that at all, and that's why it's even better the way it ends with him and Max, because Max doesn't through this whole film. Why would Max have a chance now?
Yeah.
So I like the way that they did it, and they just kind of had that shoot off, basically.
I love, and this is kind of a testament to Tom Cruise's ability as well, but like when the shit pops off in the club, I mean, we're talking shots fired.
yeah.
People start running like crazy.
That's like Mark Ruffalo and all that running through. Yeah,
because he won't just leave us alone.
There's a
that's
shot.
exactly right. It's a beautiful night.
There's a shot of Vincent walking through the club, and he just flashes like the subtlest of smiles, and it's just like he's enjoying this chaos.
But he loves the thrill. Like,
And
I
it's
think
so
there is
cool.
part of
Thrives
the,
in
so
the
cool.
thrill of the chase.
Yeah, it's just like how off the rails can this get? Like,
and he's so good at it.
yeah.
Can I point out that that Vincent is really fucking cheap too? He
Why?
only offered him $600 for the
I
night.
know. that's crazy.
But,
I did.
But
catch
Max
that.
acted like he,
good
oh,
money.
that's a hell of a
2003. I'm like, that's not any fucking thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Not enough to do what I'm gonna have.
Yeah,
to do.
well,
And maybe that's
yeah.
why Max eventually told him to go fuck yourself.
Because
Yeah.
he's like, this was for $600.
Mhm.
I should have asked for more.
Yeah.
6,000. Then I'd let you go kill people, I guess.
It'll be like 6,000 to stop
Yeah. Hell yeah.
because I need them limos.
Yeah.
I need my fleet.
Good thing there wasn't inflation.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's all I have. Unless we have something else we want to add.
No,
about
we got
Collateral.
through my notes.
Nope. I don't have notes, but
Then let's
It
move
sounds
on
good.
to our favorite Tom Cruise movies. I can't
this
believe
is tough.
we are starting season 4 of Drinking With
5?
or 5?
No.
We started
This
21, 22, 23. It's season 5.
Yeah.
And
2025, season 5.
Unless I'm mistaken, this is our first Tom Cruise movie.
I don't remember talking about one before.
I don't think we have a Drinking With.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That's wild.
That is
But
wild.
I bet you there's some. Collateral was 2004.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Sorry, Mr. Cruise, we've let you down.
Yeah.
So let's talk about our favorite Tom Cruise movies then.
Easy.
All right.
I start with Collateral.
Okay.
I go to A Few Good Men. I go to Risky Business. And it's not a very popular movie in this room, but
boy.
I go with Eyes Wide Shut.
Okay. I'll let you have that one.
This was actually tougher than I thought.
Same.
But I will say, if I just go by movies, not roles, just movies, because there's the whole Mission Impossible thing.
Oh, I can't wait for the last one.
And I love Mission Impossible Fallout, I think, is my personal favorite. But I'm putting those aside because that's such a huge franchise
Fair.
that I feel like that should have its own Mount Rushmore. So with that said, I would say Collateral. A Top Gun is fine, but I really like Top Gun Maverick, and it's done so well.
Yes.
I was actually really surprised, and he's really good in it. It's not necessarily a Tom Cruise movie, but he's certainly plays a pivotal part, and he's great in it, and he was nominated for it. But I'll say Magnolia.
Okay.
And then the last one is kind of tough because I do like Last Samurai, but I haven't watched it in a long time. So mine was either going to be Risky Business or A Few Good Men. And Risky Business he's good in, but movie-wise, A Few Good Men is one of my absolute favorites. So I'll go with A Few Good Men, Magnolia, Top Gun Maverick, and Collateral.
A Few Good Men is the only one we all agree on, or have on our list. I shouldn't say agree on.
Okay.
because we all like it. I'd have two honorable mentions. One, I'm going to say The Firm, only because it was filmed here in Memphis where we were recording at the time.
How about that?
And I'm also an extra in it.
How about that?
So I'm a little partial
Shoulda
to
known.
that. And
There
we're
you
about to
go.
go have dinner in the restaurant where I filmed one of my scenes.
How about
At
that?
Blue City Cafe. Maybe we
God.
can sit in the booth that I sat in.
Oh, let's ask the hostess.
Let's ask. It'll be like, can I have my table?
Yeah.
But no, my four are a few. Oh, then my other honorable mention was Tropic Thunder. It's not a Tom Cruise movie, but that
if
fucking
it was
is
roll.
Roll,
fantastic.
if it was Roll, that's one
Yeah,
of the most
absolutely.
memorables he ever. Yeah, I
But
agree.
I actually, with my four, I did go with his roles as well in mind.
Okay.
A Few Good Men, Jerry Maguire. I just love that fucking movie.
That would be right outside.
Rain Man,
Oh yeah. Him and Hoffman.
and then The Outsiders is one of my top 5 films of all time.
And I want to say that, and we were talking about, like, I would like to see. I haven't seen all of Cocktail. I don't think I've seen any.
I haven't seen The Color of Money.
Of
That was
Color
the
of
other one we
Money.
were talking about.
So there's a lot of those where I feel like in that kind of time period, I would like to go. I don't think I've ever seen all of Far and Away.
Cocktail's a really fun film.
I feel like I've seen that in Color of Money. Like I've watched it on TV, but I can't remember. Because isn't Paul Newman?
In Color of Money, yes.
Yes, but he's reprising a role. Is it from
it's the Jackie Gleason film. Oh crap.
Is it The Player?
No.
I thought it was really strange, but
the Hustler. No, that's not right either.
Yeah. Yeah. It is
The Hustler. Is that right?
It's yes.
I'm gonna
You
look
know
that
what?
up.
I have seen The Color of Money. I just remembered the.
Sorry, I just discovered I have nose hairs.
Yeah, I was
At
to say,
38 years
excuse you.
old, I've grown my first nose hair, and it's bugging the shit out of me.
I have seen The Color of Money because right when you said that about The Hustle, I remembered what The Hustle was and how it and what they did.
Yeah,
That is a good movie, but I think it's called The Hustle.
I'm going.
And Michael
Robert
Caine.
Redford has a really long list on his IMDb. So.
Paul Newman and Michael Caine, I think.
Oh, I
Isn't
thought
it?
Robert Redford.
No,
You're right with
You need
Paul Newman.
Paul Newman and Robert Redford's The Sting.
Yeah, and
The Color of Money.
Butch Cassidy.
The Hustler. Yeah. I was
Yeah,
right. I was
okay.
right. It just didn't feel right
Yeah.
coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, The Hustler, and then but anyway, Color of Money is a good one. I just remembered. I had to have watched that like within the past 5 years, but when you said that, I do remember it. But I would like to watch Cocktail. I don't think I've seen it all.
Highly recommend it. Just for John Stamos playing the drums on a
Damn,
Beach Boys song.
That sounds
Okay.
sexy.
Okay.
Would you stand on War of the Worlds?
I liked it,
Mm.
and I like Minority Report.
Yeah, I just hated
Yeah.
the ending of it.
Yeah, but I like those. Colin Farrell was great. Minority Report.
Interview with a Vampire, I keep forgetting about. I really enjoyed.
I liked it. I just don't remember a whole lot about it. I just remember it's a big deal with him and Brad Pitt.
Did either of you mention Born on the 4th of July?
No, but he's great in it.
Yeah.
That's if it was roles, that would probably be in the top 5.
I honestly forgot he was in Young Guns.
Oh yeah, me too.
He's
I
not
just remember
credited, but he's listed. He must have been a
I
little
just remember
cameo.
The Outsiders.
And then Taps is a great film.
Oh yeah, with what's his name? Timothy Hutton.
Hutton, yep.
Yep.
George C. Scott, Sean Penn.
Oh yeah, Sean Penn.
Yep. That's a great little
But yeah,
list.
you go through Tom Cruise has done a lot of
Giancarlo
great stuff.
Esposito.
Oh
He's having a resurgence.
yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But when you look through those films, it's kind of like all of them are actually pretty good. But then you're like, I don't know what like my favorite. Tom
Yeah.
Cruise is. So I had to think
interesting.
about
Yeah. It was easy for me, Outsiders, because I just adore that movie.
it. I mean, I don't think he's ever really disappointed me in a movie.
I
Even
mean,
when I watched that
Last
boring
Samurai.
When-
as shit, Eyes Wide Shut, I thought, oh, he's good.
It's a fantastic film. It's-
I just Kubrick. I don't
No.
know. I have a love-hate relationship. I
I'm
guess.
right there with you.
Go ahead. Sorry.
when you lay his filmography out and you talk about all these roles, it's like, yeah, he's good in this, he's good in that. Didn't realize he did this. Forgot about that one. But when I look at everything on the table out before me that I've seen, I still go back to Collateral, and I think like that's one of the first roles that I think of when I think of Tom Cruise, and I'm like, it's my favorite film of his.
Yeah. Well, and I think
It's the combination of film and the role.
I think it's a
and the
double-edged
performance.
sword because it's kind of a testament to how long he's been doing this.
Yeah.
That you go back, you're like, oh yeah, Oh, I remember that one because him and Spielberg were kind of on a roll for a little bit, and I mean the '90s was really his thing.
So I don't know if this is set with inflation in mind or whatnot, but I found a list where Tom Cruise has made 39 films. I don't know if that's of date or whatnot, but 32
Sounds
of those
about right.
39 have made over $100 million at the
It's
box office.
crazy.
Now you go back in the 80s and whatnot, it was a big deal to make $100 million at the box office.
Absolutely.
So his total box office, as of whenever this writing was just a little over $12 billion.
That's crazy.
I mean, Mission Impossible's made a ton of money.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick made over $1 billion.
Yeah.
And it's on its own.
So I feel this number is higher at this point.
Yeah,
then.
I think so too. And I bet by the time the last mission, the final reckoning,
Yeah.
I wonder if that's maybe it could be his 39th or 40th.
wow.
Good for him.
What a career.
What a career. He could end tomorrow. It'd be fine.
Like
But according to the numbers.com, he ranks number 1 worldwide box office.
No, I believe that.
It's a rare intersection of prolific creation, getting a lot of stuff done, commercial success, and talent. It's like
And
checking all the boxes, man.
No matter what has been said about him through the years,
Yeah.
his movies make money, and it's almost like it doesn't matter. Like Scientology's weird, doesn't matter. No one's done it. The stuff with Nicole Kidman, Katie Holmes, Penelope
Jumping on
Cruz,
the couch.
jump on the couch.
Yeah.
But but you know what it is? It's almost like he's gone back to what people know him for. You don't hear him in the news anymore.
No.
He doesn't really do interviews anymore, and that's everybody's cool with
But
it.
then when you hear stories of him in, like, I know the story of when The Firm was being filmed. I think it was the University of Memphis was having graduation, and I think the law department was having their graduation dinner at some restaurant. I could be wrong on the group of students or whatever. Or maybe it was somebody from Ole Miss. Either way, group of students having a graduation dinner get together, and he paid for the whole bill for their dinner and their drinks and everything.
Wow.
Never said anything about it. Whatnot. It finally, things like that leak out into the news
I've
over
heard
time.
stuff like that too, where it's kind of like, oh, Tom Cruise actually went and he helped this actor get that role, and he actually called this person and said, "Hey, you know what? This is like," and it's him and Spielberg. I feel like are a lot alike, where they are just so in deep in Hollywood that they've all like it's almost like they know what's going on, even if it looks like they have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like he'll go and see something that someone else did, and Glenn Powell is a great example where Cruise has kind of helped him along, and he was there for Twisters and was showing his support. And word is now he's wanting to give Mission Impossible to Glenn Powell.
I was about to say, is this a passing of the torch? Like, because
At least for some of it is.
We've kind of talked about this off air several times, but like Glenn Powell is like the next big movie star. Like,
I'm cool with it.
Money making guy.
Listen, I'm fine with it, but he needs to make some better movies.
Twisters ruled.
Twisters is fine. Anyone But You's okay.
Anyone But You was ruled too.
Oh my God, that's one of the worst movies I've
You've
seen.
lost
This
your
year.
mind. It brought back the rom-com.
Did you
Hitman
know?
was okay.
Hitman wasn't too bad. But did you know? I don't know if you guys know this, but a couple months ago, they announced who Sexiest Man Alive was.
It's not Glenn Powell.
And people thought...
The cast of New Girl.
They thought, this is it. This is Glenn's. This is it.
Not Glenn Powell.
Rowan Atkinson.
Do you know who it is?
My wife told me the other day, so I know.
Do you know?
Rowan Atkinson.
No. Dwight Yoakam.
Brandon Gleeson.
John Krasinski.
Oh, yeah, I did know that. I saw him on one of the late night talk shows talking about it.
So then I found out that Glenn Powell was like People magazine bugged him about it, and he refused. He did not want that title.
Yeah. Good for him.
And from what I understand,
he wants Sexiest Man of the World.
Glenn Powell, Keanu Reeves, Ryan Gosling, and someone else are 4 actors who have refused to get that title after they've been asked several times.
And I'd probably let them all hit it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You saying no to Ken? You saying no to Ryan Gosling?
Right.
Is it a matter of like I don't want to be known for this stuff. I want to be taken seriously as an actor. Like
I think maybe,
Possibly.
but I'll be honest. I think Glenn Powell is trying to like, kind of like hands out like, okay. I think all of these guys know they're good looking.
There's more than that to me.
Yes. And I kind of think that's how it is with Ryan Gosling and Keanu Reeves.
That's why I turned it down.
Where I don't think it's like not to be known for it, but I think like they're almost too humble, and it seems like that's so braggadocious that they don't like, why would I, like, it's almost like I'm going to get shit for this from my friends, and I don't need it. I guess maybe it's I don't need it.
I'll take it.
I don't know if you guys know this. I vote every year. And since 1997, I've been voting for Paul Giamatti.
One day.
Every year.
Keep fighting the good fight.
Every year.
Fight the good fight.
And one time we got close.
Which year? What was it for?
It was in 2007, and I think what's the guy who is oh my gosh. Oh, he's a big
I have no idea where you're going with this.
Patrick Stewart.
Oh, okay.
You mean Denzel Washington?
No.
He was 2007's People's Sexiest Man Alive.
Oh,
Not Patrick Stewart.
Maybe it was in London. Maybe it was People UK then.
Yeah, People UK.
But I specifically remember.
Okay.
Because I was hoping it'd be him and Ian McKellen. No.
Together.
Yeah. Didn't have enough room.
Unfortunately, that's not.
But we're off the rails.
Yeah, let's get out of here. I think we're all hungry.
I was talking about Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
I think we're all hungry. Let's go eat.
Let's go get some barbecue.
Yep. Hey, cheers to another episode of Drinking With, where we've explored the films that have come of age, just like a fine wine. As we raise our glasses to movies turning 21, we've laughed, reminisced, and maybe shed a tear or two over the timeless classics. So until next time, may your drinks be cold, your conversations lively, and your movie nights unforgettable. Drink responsibly. Remember, age is just a number, but great films are forever. You can find me at MC_Cash75 on X, at Steven McCash on Letterboxd. Gentlemen, tell these fine folks how they can find you.
At Stoney Keeley, at Sobros Network.
On Twitter, at Sir Brandon V, Sir Brandon on Letterboxd.
And most importantly, check us out at SobrosNetwork.com, where you can find all of our work. And most importantly as well, to the other most importantly, subscribe to Drinking With wherever you get your podcast fix. Leave us a rating and review so we know what you think about the show. And let us know what films from the year 2004 you would like us to review and discuss. And until next time, we'll see you then, because I have some videotapes to return. I fucked that all up.